Dharma, Dharma, Mandala, Gamniya, Daya.
Happy birthday, Tongkhor Rinpoche. You live
Thank you.
a very long life to benefit others.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for your prayers.
Vietnam is all yours. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
That was
That
beautiful.
was
Thank
beautiful.
you, Vietnam. Thank you, everyone. We can all sing a happy birthday to you from California, to Kim, George.
Unmute. Kim has to unmute.
Chị muted chị. Start.
Unmute.
Kim.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay, sorry. Let's try again. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Kê ki chung ca la
chung
tha
tha sindele
Kê
ke kaja
quê ni
quê
mô đê
ni
lê
mô đê lê
Ta chi
ha
đê
si
lê
ca đê
mô
lê
lam
mô
su
lam su
Kê
ke
ki
ki
chung ca
chung
la ta
la la ta
sindele
sindele
Happy birthday to
tu
Rinpoche La
rinpo che la
Happy
happy
birthday to
birthday to
Rinpoche La Happy birthday, happy
happy
birthday,
birthday
happy
happy
birthday to
birthday to
Rinpoche La.
Rinpoche.
Happy
Happy birthday to
birthday,
you,
Vietnam.
Rinpoche.
So much. Thank you for your wishes and the wonderful presentation. Thank you so much. You guys
Now,
have worked so hard.
Vietnam will sing a long life for you, Rinpoche.
Oh, okay.
Vietnam, yours.
Thank you. Among.
Thank you, Viren.
Phú bẩm phẩm tính kiên cường trì giữ pháp chân thực, ngài tinh thông toàn bộ kinh và mật, dùng thánh tâm để truyền bá đại dương pháp tạng khắp muôn nơi, nguyện cầu ngài trường thọ để dẫn dắt chúng sinh. Được phú bẩm phẩm tính kiên cường trì giữ pháp chân thực, ngài tinh thông toàn bộ kinh và mật, dùng thánh tâm để truyền bá đại dương pháp tạng khắp muôn nơi, nguyện cầu ngài trường thọ để dẫn dắt chúng sinh. Được phú bẩm phẩm tính kiên cường trì giữ pháp chân thực, ngài tinh thông toàn bộ kinh và mật, dùng thánh tâm để truyền bá đại dương pháp tạng khắp muôn nơi, nguyện cầu ngài trường thọ để dẫn dắt chúng sinh. Được phú bẩm phẩm tính kiên cường trì giữ pháp chân thực, ngài tinh thông toàn bộ kinh và mật, dùng thánh tâm để truyền bá đại dương pháp tạng khắp muôn nơi, nguyện cầu ngài trường thọ để dẫn dắt chúng sinh. Được phú bẩm phẩm tính kiên cường trì giữ pháp chân thực, ngài tinh thông toàn bộ kinh và mật, dùng thánh tâm để truyền bá đại dương pháp tạng khắp muôn nơi, nguyện cầu ngài trường thọ để dẫn dắt chúng sinh. so ha de ha o pe ande pe ande ra ta
Okay.
Vietnam,
Let me
thank you
mute.
so much. Are you all done? I think if not, we cannot hear
Yeah,
you anymore.
it's mute. They're muted.
Thank
Okay,
you.
now I'm
Thank you.
muted.
Happy birthday, Rinpoche.
Thank you.
happy
Something to
birthday
say.
à
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Nếu ai muốn
Thank
mở
you.
camera hoặc là microphone để mà chúc thầy happy birthday thì xin tự nhiên nhé. Chắc là maybe
Happy birthday to you.
um,
Thank you so much.
The dog wants to say happy birthday to Rinpoche.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to Rinpoche.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Precious. Well, yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for your wonderful wishes. And with your prayers, and may I have the I think I am more determined to work for the sentient beings and to continue.
To you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for everyone for your hard work in arranging this. What do I call this? So for this grand arrangement. What do I call this? Thank you.
happy birthday happy birthday happy birthday
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Thank you, everyone, for doing a great job setting this up. Juan, Vietnam especially, thank you so much. We are ready for your teaching now, Rinpoche, if you have time today. If not,
Oh yeah,
we
sure,
are
sure.
happy to release you to enjoy your day. But we are ready. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. So, thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
Thank you very much. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Và
Thank you. Yeah. So as I said last week, we have been in this journey, spiritual journey, for the last, I think, couple of months, over 9 months or so. So we have Dharma students, Dharma enthusiasts from all over the world, from Vietnam, from the United States, from Hong Kong, from Taiwan, and many other places, from India, and so from many different places, from all the different corners of the world. And so all of you, first of all, I would like to thank you, express my gratitude for attending, paying attention, and attending the Dharma talk for the last couple months. So I hope that has enriched your life. And then that is my goal, that we can help to enrich each other's life through our spiritual practices. And so what little I know, I shared with you. And also today, thank you for arranging making such a grand arrangement. I know it's a weekend, Sunday, and every day everyone is it's day off. Usually people just relax, but you have worked so hard to arrange this. So thank you all, and thank you for your prayers. And I'm determined to walk more, and then yes, and hope to see you all soon. Then maybe we will do some short teaching today. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Okay, I think we can begin now. Okay. So please listen with proper Mahayana motivation, which is to attain enlightenment for the all sentient beings. And with this, we will begin today's teaching, that is on the Master Gampopa's the Precious Garland to the Supreme Path. We will go with that teaching today. So when you talk about spiritual practices, so there is the spiritual understanding or philosophical understanding of the Dharma, and then the spiritual application of the Dharma. So one can combine the two, which is very powerful, very effective, or one can separate the two and do as one pleases. For example, if you are not someone who is devoted to faith, or you have no faith, or you are not interested in spirituality or religion or anything of that matter, then you can always study the philosophical aspect of the Dharma, and then gain benefits from it. So that is what His Holiness always tells us, that it is not necessary for everyone to be a Buddhist or a spiritual practitioner. Even during Buddha's time, not the whole world has become Buddhist. So it is quite impractical to think that everyone will become Buddhist, or that trying to convert everyone into Buddhism. But at the same time, there is a lot of benefits to be gained or made from the Buddhist teachings, such as meditation, mindfulness, and Buddhist philosophical understanding, and so on and so forth. So these can be applied if you are not interested in, even if you're not interested in religion at all. But if you are a spiritual person, then you can combine both the spiritual methods of the Buddhist Dharma, Buddha Dharma, as well as the philosophical aspect of the Buddha Dharma together, and make yourself an effective aircraft to cross over the ocean of samsara over to the land of Buddha. So for the spiritual aspect of the Buddha, to put into application the spiritual aspect of the Buddha Dharma, one needs to have strong faith. Faith or devotion is the most important part, the integral part of a spiritual practice. So Buddha Dharma can be understood in a philosophical aspect and can be understood as a spiritual practice, as I said earlier. Now to put into practice the spiritual, put into application the spiritual aspect of the Buddha Dharma, then devotion is the key. And the devotion or faith should be such as that, so according to the teaching here, it says that as a deer that has been trapped by a hunter and wanted to get out of the trap. So the angst, the desire to get out of the trap is so strong. So for an animal that is trapped by a hunter. So similarly, the faith towards the Dharma, in order to escape samsara, should be as strong as such. That is the first teaching. So there are three steps, or so the first step and the middle step and the third step. What you have to do in the beginning. So there is the steps. The first step and the things you have to be mindful in the beginning, in the middle, and in the end. So in the beginning, what you have to do is you have to have proper faith, strong faith, and in the middle, you need to have strong determination. Then in the end, what you need to have is strong confidence. So in the beginning, you need to have proper faith and devotion in the path of the Dharma. In the middle means, so in the beginning, everybody has excited to do Dharma. Okay, there is a great Rinpoche or great teacher or somebody, then you just go there. You want to start something. You want to start the preliminary, or there is so much excitement in the beginning, right? And then in the middle, and of course, when you start something new, there's always the excitement and there's some improvement in your life and stuff. But gradually, maybe 2-3 years later, there isn't much improvement because it's everything, whether it's in business or in our own life, in whatever, in the initial stages, the progress is much more visible. But as time moves on, the progresses are not that visible. The progresses are always small. So then we start to get disheartened, disappointed, and then think, okay, there is no improvement in my life. Maybe I should change my, my practices. Maybe I should change my guru. Maybe I should change my, this and that. Something must be wrong. But actually, the thing is, just like everything in your life, after a certain stage, after the initial stage, things start to move quite slowly and gradually. So at that time, what you need to have is determination should be there at all times. So consistency is the key here. Consistent determination throughout the journey should be maintained. And by doing so, at the end, you will have a lot to carry on with you. And so at the time of so you have the beginning, you have to have the devotion in the middle, or in the time between the beginning and the end. You need to have determination, consistent determination to your practices. And in the end, you will have confidence, strong confidence in what you have done, so that you have no fear of death. Many times, most of the time, practitioners, usually people who are devoted to their practice, who are great practitioners, who are good practitioners, are always looking forward to the next life. They are not scared in the time of death, in the face of death, because they know where they are going. They know they know what to expect and everything. So the beginning, you need to have proper faith. In the middle, you need to have proper determination, and in the end, you need to have proper confidence. Okay, so the next step, again, we have sort of three stages, 3 steps: the beginning, the middle, and the end. So in the beginning, meaning as an initial practitioner, one should know that there is no time. There is no time to practice. So let's say we have about 100 years to live. So the first 20 years, we are busy growing up, with as a kid, as a high schooler, as a college student, that's just confused with all the things in the world. And then we dwell into the real world, or we make a living for ourselves. Then the next 20 years or so, we are busy with our our current life, our whole household lives. And then 40 years has passed, and then when you really wanted to do something, then the excitement or the faith in the Dharma sort of has is not as strong as you were when you were much younger. And also, your body may not suit your desire to practice the Dharma. Your memory may not suit you well, and so on and so forth. And so this is how it happens in our life. So even though we have, let's say, we have 100 years to live, even though 100 years is not that long, but for a person, an individual, it may be it is quite long. But majority of our life, we spend it doing worldly things. So the time to practice is very minimal. And so therefore, it is important to realize the uncertainty of time, uncertainty of life, and the shortage of time that has been allotted to us in the so-called lives of ours. So realizing that, we can think we must put into practice whatever little we can. Any moment that we get, we must practice. So the instruction goes like this: one must know that the shortage of time in our life, and must act immediately as someone who has been injured with a critical wound. So if you are critically wounded, then you will immediately go to the emergency ward in the hospital. So similarly, one will not waste time if you are critically wounded. So similarly, one should run to practice just like that. in the beginning, one should realize that one is critically wounded with samsaric ailments, and then put into practice the Dharma. So in the beginning, one should be one should feel as an critically wounded person who has to immediately reach the emergency ward of the hospital in order to practice. And in the middle, in the time between the beginning and the end, one should put into application all the teachings, such as meditation and so forth. So one should put all one's attention into the practice and the practice alone. Just as, so the example is given here is a mother with a single child, a mother with a single child who has just died. So this this analogy is used many times in the sutras, especially when we talk about the great compassion, Mahakaruna. So the Mahakaruna, or the great compassion, is something, let's say there is a mother has an only son, only child, and if that child is passed away, then how strongly emotional the mother would feel towards the only child of hers who has passed away, who has gone. And that emotion has to be replicated towards all sentient beings, and that is the equivalent of a great compassion or Mahakaruna. So similarly here also, Master Gampopa talks about a mother with the only child who has passed away. So if the grief and the emotion and the single-pointedness, the attention span of the mother at the time of her only child's death would be so strong, so consolidated. So similarly, one's attention towards one's practice should be like that. In the middle. In the middle means after you start your practices and until you reach your goal, this should be maintained. This consistency should be maintained. In the end, okay, this consistency should be maintained. That is the fifth instruction. So in the end, the practitioner should be avoiding all the needless activities. Should be able to see all the worldly things as a needless and meaningless activity, and remain alert, just as a cow. A mother cow would remain alert to save her calf from predators and to protect her cow. So similarly, in the end, one should be able to see that the practice and practice alone brings the result, the desired result, and nothing else matters. So this is speaking from a strictly spiritual point of view. So again, so lesson number 7 is that in the beginning, one should have confidence in the Dharma, just like a hungry person finding good food. When a hungry person finds a large amount of good food, that person is, even before eating the food, one is so satisfied, one is so happy, one finds joy in just watching the food on the table. So similarly, one should be able to, the excitement to practice, the determination, the excitement and the desire to practice should be so strong, just like a hungry person about to start eating big lunch, a big meal. So this should be at the beginning, and in the middle, in the beginning you should have confidence in the Dharma. In the Dharma meaning the teaching of the Buddha, the doctrine. In the middle, one should have confidence in one's own mind, because at the end of the day, Dharma is all about transformation of the mind. When you transform your mind, you are. So there's a saying in India, in Hindi language, we all know about the Buddha, right? Buddha is the one who is enlightened. And then there's another term in Hindi called in Sanskrit or Hindi called Buddhu, which means a fool. So there is the Buddhu and the Buddha. So Buddhu is someone who is in deep slumber, asleep, fool, idiot, whatever you may call it, stupid. And the Buddha is someone who has liberated from that idiocy, that foolishness, that stupidness, that deep slumber, and is fully awakened. So the practice of Dharma is nothing but transformation from Buddhu to Buddha, from deep slumber to the awakened state. And it all happens within the mind. So transformation of the mind is integral, is the key. And all other sort of practices we do, chanting, we may need to do chanting, we may need to light lamps, we may need to do prostration, we may need to recite mantras, we may need to go circumambulation, we may need to do all of that, depending on what level or stages of you have reached. So, but the key thing is to transform oneself from Buddhu, unawakened, to Buddha, the awakened state. And so that is so that should be maintained. That is the key.
Câu thứ 7.
So in the second stage, so in the beginning it is a hungry person finding food. In the second stage, in the middle stage, it is that a poor person, a beggar finding a bag full of gold. That sort of one should have confidence in one's own mind. So at the end of the day, it is your own mind that liberates you, and that confidence towards your own mind, the possibility of transformation of your mind from negativity to positivity, should be such that a beggar finding a bag full of gold in front of himself. Okay, number 9 and 10, we have to reverse it. We have to usually, in terms of application, in terms of practices, number 10 comes first and the 9 comes later. So number 10 is confidence into emptiness, the understanding of emptiness. And number 9 is confidence or understanding in the confidence into the understanding of non-duality. So to have a proper understanding of non-duality, you have to understand emptiness first. Once you have so non-duality means the absence of dualism, inherent existence, the dualism of something that is absolutely real and absolutely untrue. So first you need to have proper confidence in emptiness. In order to have proper confidence in emptiness, you need to have proper understanding of emptiness. And so therefore, so we have talked about emptiness many times, but it's a very difficult subject. I mean, even intellectually, it's a difficult thing to explain, and not to speak of how much more difficult it is to put into application. So we have a saying in the text that understanding the explaining emptiness is like a mute, someone who cannot speak, trying to explain how sugar tastes like. So if you cannot speak, if you are mute, then you will not be able to explain to anyone how sugar tastes like. So similarly, explaining how emptiness is like it in great detail is not possible for us, for an ordinary sentient being. Only the Buddha can explain in the greatest detail. So anyway, so the number 10 is that understanding of emptiness, confidence into emptiness through understanding of emptiness, through comprehension of emptiness. And in order to so it should be something like once you have confidence in the emptiness, of course, in order to have confidence into the emptiness, you need to understand it, right? So once you have confidence into the emptiness, it would be like a bird who has flown away from a ship that is no longer depending on the ship. So there is another example usually used in English much more. So there's a saying in English that a bird is not scared of a branch breaking off because the birds do not rely on the branch to keep themselves afloat. They have their own wings. So even if the branch breaks off, the bird is not scared because the bird can also fly. So similar. So this is the same analogy given here. It is like the bird that has flown off from a ship. Even if the ship is no longer there, the bird doesn't care because the bird can always rely on its own wings. So the wing is something internal, something the bird has himself, and the ship is external. So the external world is the absolute world, is the in one understanding, it is the absolute world as we see it, or we can call it the conventional world. So the conventional worlds seem so real; they are seemingly real, but without the intricacy of the interdependency of things, of every minute thing depending upon each other, there is nothing absolutely out there. Nothing, the so-called conventional things does not exist absolutely without depending upon minute details of each other's relation. So there is that. So there is the intricate relation between each minute objects, and then everything seemingly existing on its own at a larger scale. So these two existential things, two objects, two phenomena should be combined, should be leveled, should be balanced out. And that balancing out, that act of balancing is known as penetrating through non-dualism. And so once you understand emptiness, then you will know the relationship between emptiness, or the ultimate truth, and the conventional truth. And so ultimate truth actually means there is no absolute truth. You know, as ironical as it sounds, absolute truth means the absence of ultimate truth means the absence of absolute truth. And this absence of absolute truth and the absence of absolute false, so these absences are known as the absence of dualism or non-dualism, and that dualism, that non-dualism, is the none other than balancing out inherent existence, which we regard as absolute truth, and the conventional truth, which is dependent arising. So balancing out these two is none other than understanding of non-dualism. The analogy given here for the 9th instruction, so one who has confidence and understanding who understands and then has confidence in the non-dualism. So the analogy given, the example is like a liar who has been found out that he is lying. So let's say you are concocting lies. You are making you are speaking lies. You are fooling someone, and that person finds out that you are lying, right? And when all the untruthfulness and when all the lies were found out, then you have nowhere to escape. Then there is a you are exposed. Similarly, someone who has found someone who has confidence in non-dualism is akin to being exposed. The reality, the true nature of the world. So the true nature of the phenomena as we know it has been exposed to the practitioner who has realized non-dualism, and so therefore there is nothing to everything is nakedly, truthfully clear, and there is nothing to hide from that practitioner. So that is the analogy given for someone who has gained insight into non-dualism. Yeah. So this concludes today's teaching. And if you have any questions or something to say, you're welcome. Ms. Yin?
We do not have any questions right now from Richila. If anyone else in the audience would like to ask, please go ahead. But I don't have one at the moment.
Sure.
So if there's no questions, it's your birthday, Richila. Maybe we can we can call it the day for now.
Okay. All right. So, okay. Once again, thank you so much for your participation in the Dharma talks for the last couple of months, over 9 months, I think, and really appreciate and rejoice. And as we always do at the end of our teaching, we will again today also we will dedicate this for the betterment of for the welfare of all sentient beings. And I think I told you this before, right? It is always be greedy when you are praying. So don't pray for yourself alone. Pray for the whole sentient beings, the whole world. For your countrymen, for your family, for more people. You pray. It's more powerful, more effective, better that way. And if you pray only for yourself, then the effect is also minimal. So whenever you pray, you can be greedy as you can. So always pray for the benefit of all sentient beings and dedicate for their benefit. And really, again, once again, grateful to all of you for sending your well wishes, your gifts, and your prayers and everything. So, and I hope you all have, not just myself, but you all have a great day, great year, and great transformation this year, and you all have a healthy life and great practice to everyone. Thank you. Okay, so dedication now?
Yes, Richila, on this way.
Okay. Gewan di yurdo da lama yen zhowa ji ya ma lu da la yo sem jo rinpo ye ma na ma nge yura gewa nyang bara me bara yang gong gong do pe wa mi de jin jin je me ai ge bo en jan zui gen zoi kai ma lo zoi chai long song means in their change I can boy John get tôi kiến tôi gọi mà lối dõi trời số miền dưới thiên nhiên trên miền kia ngồi buồn trong con chuyện kia tôi kiến tôi gọi lối dõi trời lối
Thiền chính Dharma cơ cũng lan trong lô ta y chăm một dối chú cuốn trên kế rô trên đám ba tô được phú phẩm tính kiên cường, trì giữ pháp chân thực, ngài tinh thông toàn bộ kinh và mật, dùng thánh tâm để truyền bá đại dương pháp tạng khắp muôn phương, nguyện cầu ngài trường thọ để dẫn dắt chúng sinh. Thank you, Rinpoche La. Thank you, everyone. Happy birthday again. Have a great day.
Thỉnh Trang Ly phục chưa?
Nhìn thế này mới chào.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone. Thank you, Yan. Thank you.
Have a
Bye-bye.
good day, Rinpoche La.
Thank you.
Good day, good night, everyone. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.